Hello. I. What time is it right now? It is almost evening. I have a soup that I prepared here. Man, I am tired. I'm also talking to myself here. When in actuality, I wish I was talking to other people and friends. Like, I wish I had people here next to me who, like, would listen to me and, like, hear what I had to say. But it's hard for me to do that because I don't really speak freely in front of other people. For one reason or another, I just don't. It's un poco difícil because cuando I'm sitting with other people, there's just so much going on in my brain, as opposed to cuando estoy aquí solito. There's not really a whole lot to distract me, and I can just focus on my own thoughts and my own words. There might be something to doing that regardless. Like, there's no, like, what I want to do is I want to get to a point. I want to have friends where I can talk like this, and they'll just like listen, and they won't just be waiting for their turn to speak or thinking something else. Like, I want people's full attention, which is one of the reasons why therapy has been so nice, because I just get my therapist's full attention. And I'm basically talking like this. Well, without the food. My therapist is very nice because I'll be talking to her and she won't interrupt. Like, I don't think she's interrupted, like, at all. Like, I'll be talking, and then maybe what I actually want is to be in company that can that actually know how to have a conversation. Because I don't know where I would find that, though. Where would I find people that actually know how to talk? And I'm not talking about their diction. I'm talking about actually having conversation. Discussing, having ideas, and not even necessarily having a good time, just being social, I guess. I missed that. You saw that, right? I missed this. And then when I'm talking with my therapist, she'll like find moments where I pause to then say something like, I don't know, and then it makes me think, and that's pretty much how it goes, back and forth. Somehow that's healing. Somehow that's therapy. So I'll get that. Like, I'll get that from. Like, I'll find. Eventually, one day, I'll have that group of people where we're all sitting around and we all know how to have conversation and talk. I will. They will respect me for the brain that I have, and I will respect them for their experiences. It'll be a mutual respect. But I'm doing my part on that. So I don't know who these hypothetical people will be in the future. But I'm doing my part now to get there. It's a new version of me. And as I was in the library earlier, I was journaling. And I was reflecting on new versions of me, or old versions of me. And then it was making me a little sad, a little frustrated, because it's hard to feel like I'm in a new version of myself. Because new implies that I've improved. And I have. I really have. It's just hard to feel like I have. Or I think it's hard because I want more. I'm not satisfied. I'm not happy, I guess. I'm not so concerned with being quote unquote happy anymore. Like, I don't care about being happy. I care about going to the gym and exercising. I care about going to the library. I care about doing things that are productive. I care about doing things that will keep me from depression. So if that means happiness, then for sure. But I'm tired, so I can't really feel happiness when what I'm feeling is tired. And props to me. Props to me for doing it. I'm doing it, man. I'm doing it. And I don't know how long I've been in this new version of me. I think it's been I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks. Let's say it's been 4 weeks. Because I haven't really been able to see my therapist. So let's say I've been in this new version for a month. This new version of me, well, in the past 4 years, I've made progress and then I've taken steps backward. And those have all been versions of me. Those have all been versions of me. I started therapy not too long after in my head, I don't know the exact dates, but in my head, like in terms of like series of events, how memory happens, like the most significant thing that happened that I can remember before I started therapy was when I quit Spectrum and then I tried to disappear from the world. So that was one version of me. Then I started therapy. And then I started journaling again, so that was another version of me. Again, but it even then, like those 2 versions of me, right, before therapy and like when I started journaling again, those 2 versions of me weren't separated by that much time. those two versions came within like maybe months of each other. That new version of me then became a reader. So I wouldn't say that that's another version of me, although why not, right? So that's another version of me, not just the version of me that was journaling, but also journaling and reading. I was still smoking marijuana though, so there are, I guess it makes sense that with every version of myself there are some residual effects from the previous version. So this new version of me is super consistent with the gym. Like, super consistent with the gym. I looked at myself in the mirror because, not in the mirror, but in this phone. God, I'm so self-conscious. Insecure. I need to be confident. I have been going to the gym a lot, even though maybe my body doesn't show it. Even though it does. Even though my face not show it. But, you know, I have been going to the gym every day, so. I hold myself to high standards. Not even that I hold myself to high standards, just I'm very mean to myself. Unfairly mean. So, the way, and this is a good thing, the way those previous versions of myself had a residual carryover from each version, which was marijuana. I'm not smoking marijuana. The residual that's carrying over from these newer versions of myself is my occupation. You know, I'm a delivery driver, so I'm not making very much money. Now the difference is, marijuana was getting me more depressed, and delivering food is making me money. So there's not a lot of money. One of them I was spending money to be depressed. The other one, I'm getting money so that I can live a little bit. Because as unfair as it can feel, money is important to live. But my perception on money has changed. So new, right? These new versions of myself with new philosophies, stronger psychological philosophy. You know, just because I'm doing good doesn't mean it's not hard. And it's always nice to have someone who's got my back, who's in my corner, rooting me on, you know. That's why I'm a little bummed today that I wasn't able to see my therapist. But I'm like looking forward to the future because I think she'll be okay. And we'll be able to see each other again. But you know what's funny is I saw this one YouTube short about The Simpsons, and in this one episode where they tell the story of a son who really forms a mentorship, or forms that mentor like protege connection with his grandfather. And obviously I can relate to that because I feel like I've developed that with my therapist. Shout outs to Zora Spirit. Sorry for name dropping. And in the show, in that episode where they're telling that story, of course, because they're telling a story, the mentor passes away. And the son is still living life and experiencing all the tough obstacles and bumps that have to be crossed for it. And then he goes and visits, I think, a grave site, I think it was. And he's remembering his mentor. And when you're watching it, or at least when I was watching it, it really hit home, because I felt like I could be in that same, and that I will be one day, because my mentor is, I don't know. I hope that I can still have a lot of years with my mentor. I know that I'll be okay. I know that I'm capable, I'm strong, because I've been preparing for my independence. All these new versions of me have been working towards the same goal of independence. And it's been 3 days now where I've felt like I've been closer than I've ever been to my independence. So, yeah, cycles suck, and no one wants to go through cycles, but if there's if there's a silver lining to be had from it, it's that we learn. So, it doesn't need to be said, but obviously I'm not playing the piano right now. I'm gonna play the piano. I'm just not gonna record it. I figured today I needed a friend. So, I'm your friend, dude. So, yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna eat, record myself, then get on the keyboards, mess around a little bit, and then finish up my routine, which is the park. I'm gonna go read at the park. Then I'm gonna go work, and then come back, and then that's it for me. That's my day. The thought that I'm having right now is that I am very different from my father. That's the thought. And specifically, I was talking about what inspired that thought was thinking about work. Our routines are very different. That's what I meant to say. Okay. Well, 1826. It's cool. Obviously, I can talk forever, but the length of the video isn't really what's important so much as that I'm continuing to work towards the future. The mantra is still to move forward, even if it means getting cuts, bruises, or bumps, even if it means fumbling forward as opposed to striding past the goalpost. It doesn't matter as long as you cross the finish line. And I don't want to use the finish line analogy because that implies an end. Once I like, these have all been newer versions of me, so there's a theme. I don't feel confident when I say this, but I am working to become someone who's reinventing himself, and I think that's good for longevity in terms of the brain and health. I think it's healthy to continue to reinvent oneself. It's not easy, and it can be frustrating, especially when you don't have a great foundation to stand on. So it's taking me a while to get mine. Thank you, therapy. Thank you, Zora. And like I've had foundations before and I've built on top of it in all these versions of myself, and with each version there's been a version of me that like has that what I've built to fall. uh, Being fired from Starbucks, for an example, quitting Planet Fitness and Denny's, another example. I've been working on my foundation, and I've been every time I've tried to build on it, it's fallen, and it's forced me to um, take another swing at that foundation, improving the foundation, making it stronger. And for the past 3 days, I've really felt that I feel close to independence. I can feel it closer. So, in this new version of me, there are still some residuals from the previous versions of me that I hope to, like the marijuana, hope to reinvent, change, because I'm investing in myself. I'm all about me. I'm all about my own health. And there's still some challenges, still some hurdles to face internally. What with me not really knowing what confidence is, not trusting myself to just live. I still have filters up. I think I still have my walls up, but if I do, then I'm at least stepping outside, starting to leave the door unlocked. That type of stuff. Okay. Talk to you tomorrow.